Hey, it's Niclas, and I've been a fan of Pokemon basically as long as I can think. It all started with Heart Gold back in 2010, I played through Black 2 like 50 times, and it's simply without a doubt one of my favorite franchises of all time. Despite that, I hadn't enjoyed Pokemon as much these past few years. Both because I branched out into many different video game genres to spend time with, but also because I did not enjoy recent entries as much as the older ones. As a matter of fact, the last new Pokemon game that I played, loved and finished was Sword and Shield back in 2019. I somehow never got around to trying out Legends Arceus as I was truthfully kinda turned off by the performance, graphics and new combat, and while I bought both Brilliant Diamond and Scarlet, I finished neither of them. Diamond because it ended up being kinda boring, and Scarlet because of the disastrous performance on the Switch, which just really turned me off from playing the game. Despite all of that, I was really excited for Pokémon Legends ZA on the Switch too. From the return of my favorite Pokémon, Feraligatr and Ampharos, to the entire premise of Return to Kalos, I was hooked and couldn't wait for the game. I thought, hey, this could be it. Finally a new Pokemon game that I can thoroughly enjoy. And after my initial release day stream and over 20 hours of playtime, I can say it's an insanely fun time. Is the €70 price tag too much? Debatable. Does the game have its issues and problems? Without a doubt. Are people overhating the game to a completely unreasonable extent? 100%. This video isn't really supposed to be a review for Legends ZA, as that is coming out in 1-2 weeks once I finish the main game. This video is supposed to be more of a think piece and critique about the very unhealthy discourse around the game. Because the way people are trying to label it one of the worst games ever is just complete nonsense. You can already tell by the title and thumbnail that I'm clearly parodying the video of another YouTuber. Said video was being ripped apart all over my Twitter timeline, and it's just one example of many more videos. Videos drastically hating on the game in a way that I like mentioned think is not reasonable whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Pokemon games have generally been really under fire over these past few years. And as mentioned earlier, for somewhat understandable reasons. Boring remakes, underwhelming graphics, lots of visual bugs, and the worst issue in my opinion, bad performance. Like, I can excuse many things, but the moment a game runs badly and a low FPS, I'm not going to be able to have a fun time. A smooth gameplay experience is just so important for me, especially for a game that I want to sink many hours into. And when I now look at Legends ZA, absolutely none of the above mentioned issues that many recent Pokemon games struggled with apply. The premise is super fun, unique and exciting, and the gameplay loop has been a blast. From exploring Leomio's city, to the way the battling works, the wild and battle zones, side quests, it's been really enjoyable. The graphics aren't perfect by any means, but still genuinely pretty, and the characters and Pokemon models are straight up gorgeous. I mean, holy shit, look at how good the Pokemon look, especially all the individual animations, and look at how good the trainers and you look. It's stunning. And on top of that, the game has been running smooth as butter. Super clean performance, absolutely no stuttering, no frame drops even when streaming, gameplay and movement are super fluid. In terms of the technical aspects, I have zero complaints. And even Switch 1 users have had mostly positive things to say, and most of the really bad footage came from emulated versions. Like, yeah, of course the game is gonna run like shit if you rip it off from somewhere. As I said though, the game still isn't flawless, and there's a few issues. Issues that I would consider to be of the minor scale though. Like the slow intro section where Tawny won't let you explore took too long. And some creative decisions like skipping over half the ZA ranks are definitely things that can be questioned and discussed. And beyond that, I honestly don't really have much to moan about. Other than maybe a topic that I will talk about later in the video. For now I can ask again, could the game look better? Sure, it's definitely not even slightly as bad as Switch 1 games, and I generally see no major problems with the graphics at all. This isn't Red Dead Redemption 2, nor should it be. The game isn't supposed to look hyper-realistic. Pokemon has always lived over its own art style, personality, and identity. I'm not sure what standards or expectations players have, but the game not only looks completely fine, but I would genuinely consider it one of the prettiest Pokemon games ever. Yes, the endless rows of windows can feel a bit dull at times, but the city has so many characters and Pokemon around that it never stops feeling alive. Like, I've roamed around Lumio's city so much by now, and it hasn't gotten boring whatsoever. You're constantly finding items, run into characters and Pokemon, and there's several many pretty spots like parks, cafes, and more. Like, I'm barely even noticing the row of windows anymore because it's clearly not the center of attention. Like, I know mindsets and a player's focus are always different from one another, but I struggle to see why so many people will try to make such a big deal out of how that part of the city looks like. To me, it's just irrelevant. It doesn't affect my enjoyment with the exploration, story, or gameplay whatsoever. It's nearly as if people try their hardest to look for things to be upset about rather than actually try to enjoy a Pokemon game. And I once again have to say, this is honestly one of the most fun Pokemon games of all time for me. It captures the essence and beauty of the franchise in Pokemon absolutely perfectly for me. From the dynamic overworld battle system, to the very likable and interesting characters, to the ability to just sit down for a moment and relax with your Pokemon. You also got short and memorable side quests that, like mentioned, make the city feel even more alive. The quality of life in regards to boxes and evolving are amazing. And yeah, I just really don't see why some people are hating this game so much. Like, this is Pokemon at its fullest. This is what the franchise is all about. Again, there are without a doubt constructive critique points to talk about. And yes, I agree that the gameplay loop can also feel repetitive at times, which can be seen in the fact that I've been playing in several 1 to 2 hour sessions rather than 10 hours non-stop or something. I can totally see and understand why 3D Pokemon games like this wouldn't be for everyone, and that many people would prefer the more classic old school 2D experience. Again, Black 2 is my favorite and most played Pokemon game ever, and I doubt that it is ever gonna change. But as someone that has played nearly every single Pokemon game, from Red on the Game Boy, to Leaf Green on the Game Boy Color, to Hot Gold and Black on the DS, to Sun and Moon on the 2DS, yes, I got a 2DS and it's perfect, to Sword and Shield on the Switch, as someone that has played nearly every single Pokemon game, Legends ZA has been some of the most fun I ever had with a Pokemon game. And I'm not forcing or expecting everybody to share that same sentiment, but it really feels like majority of the hate waves dawn off of something else. Not people disliking the game Pokémon Legends ZA, but rather just people hating on Pokemon and Nintendo. Not to say that I haven't seen true, legitimate longtime fans being critical, but I think it's obvious that a lot of the hate comes from people that never really played or cared for the franchise and just want to hate on it for other reasons, like fueling their own agenda or farming clicks. Legends ZA has literally been labeled as woke by many because it features nurse joys with black skin and the fact that the male characters can dress in skirts. Again, not to discredit genuine criticism from genuine fans, but I very much notice another influx of those kind of gamers heavily infiltrating discussions about this and other games. There is, without a single doubt, just a massive grifter campaign when it comes to the conversations around Legends ZA. Like, if you go check many of the negative user reviews, it's just to mention service level graphics complaints, which, as we mentioned by now, feels very forced, alongside things like that the game isn't like old Pokemon. For years, people want innovation, and we got it right here, and suddenly the game isn't like Red and Blue from before I was born? I mean, just look at the discourse about the Switch 2 or Mario Kart World. Many things that can be reasonably discussed about, ending up in one-dimensional loud hate rants from non-fans. And that problem is, like mentioned, not exclusive for Nintendo and Pokemon. This seems to be gaming discourse 101 these days. The amount of time and energy people spend into hating games for often questionable reasons is just beyond me, honestly. You say anything positive and you will be called all kind of names. As a matter of fact, I'm sure people that won't even watch the video to this point will have called me a Nintendo shill in the comments by now. Or that I'm on a payroll to defend the games or something. And guess what? I am a Nintendo child. Always have been. Always will be. Those games are my childhood, and I will always find myself enjoying them. But it doesn't mean I can't criticize when necessary, nor does it mean I blindly defend or praise everything. Again, the reason I'm making this video and writing the script right now is because I'm having such an insane amount of fun with this game. We're seeing so much unwarranted hate just feels kinda awful. Like, I'm gonna enjoy the game no matter what others say, but I feel like I need to voice some disagreement with how negative the discourse about this fun game has become. Especially because of the unreasonable nature in many aspects. But as mentioned earlier, there's one thing I can definitely understand, which is some people thinking that the game wastes potential. And you know what? I can agree. The game is already insanely fun and enjoyable, but it could, without a doubt, have been even more. Branch your Lumiosa city even further, make it bigger, add more Pokemon, more buildings to enter. It could have been even greater. Like, it's already great, but could definitely be even better. But even here I have to say, this wasted potential doesn't affect my enjoyment. While there's definitely been cases where I think about what could have been, it is really not fair that way for me yet with Legends ZA. Mostly because I've been enjoying the game so much either way. Like, seriously, this is the most fun I've had with Pokemon in years. I would go as far as saying that it has kinda reignited my passion for the franchise, which makes this hateful discourse so much more baffling to me. Especially because many of the complaints about the game just don't feel genuine. Obviously, different opinions will always exist, and there will always be people that enjoy and dislike things. That is inevitable. But in this specific case and context, it just really feels like we're playing two different games. Or that many of y'all are just playing a game that simply isn't for you. So, how can we wrap up this video? I feel like I could repeat the same things over and over. I love the game, it's Pokemon as it lives and breathes, others hate it, and I doubt either side's opinion will change. I guess we can close this out by me wishing that gaming discourse can hopefully become better again, as it has become really awful, not just for Nintendo and Pokemon. And it's not just the gaming space, but society in general, as we talked about with the whole woke nonsense. I mean, seriously, we're gonna consider Pokemon woke now? Really? This word has gone so goddamn stupid, dude. Either way, I can't wait to play even more Legends ZA. I will definitely be streaming it even more going forward, and I'm definitely gonna stick around for the DLCs as well. For now, I hope you enjoyed the video. This right here was supposed to be a big proper review just yet, more of a think piece about the unreasonable hate wave. The actual review is gonna come out once I've played through the main game. If you want to have a civilized discussion or just want to share your thoughts on the topic, drop it down below in the comments. Also leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, it would help me a lot. I will see you soon with more Pokemon and other videos down the road. It's Niclas, and I can't wait to see you back soon on my channel.